So I wanted to share an interesting story with everybody today about an experience I had right before I met my twin flame. Really interesting. And I think this person that I'm going to be talking about in today's video, I think they were trying to get my attention again here lately. Very interesting. Because some things popped up in my reality and I was like, that is very peculiar. So when I originally met my twin flame, this was, God, 18 years ago? Something like that. 18 or 19 years ago. And so a minute ago when I said, yes, an interesting experience I had right before I met my twin flame, what I was talking about was the second time I met her. Because the first time I met her, we just flirted a little bit and nothing happened, and then we never talked again for over 12 years. So the second time is when this interesting event happened, and it was very unexpected. So I just thought you guys would find this interesting. This person came to visit me in my sleep. They've passed over to the other side, right? And it's just a cool story. The synchronicity was remarkable. And this person still comes around from time to time. I think this video is going to go under my Kurt's Spiritual Autobiography playlist. So if you didn't know that existed, go check it out. I've had all kinds of very interesting things happen all throughout my life, up to and including having my first out-of-body experience when I was like 4. And then being visited by physical angels multiple times. The first time was when I was about 4. I could go on and on. So this is an interesting story. Now, let me start at the very beginning. I worked at a retail store. This was, again, like 20 years ago. And my twin flame was there working. And this other person, her name was Shayna. She was working there. And so we all worked together. Now, I had this big crush on Shayna, and Shayna liked me, and it didn't really work out, but you know, I was like all in love with her, and we kind of saw each other informally for, I don't know, maybe 3 months, and then we broke things off. But it's just interesting. That's where I met my twin flame. And then this person who she perished, she passed away. And then right before I met my twin flame the second time, she came to see me from the other side, kind of thing. I just thought it was kind of interesting that she would do that. Right before I started the twin flame journey. Because the thing is the second time I met my twin flame, that's what started the twin flame journey. The first time, we just flirted a little bit, and then she said, I want to go home with you. And I was like, how old are you, right? And yeah, I was like, no, we can't even be flirting. Just let's forget this ever happened. You know, by flirting, I mean, like, One time she said, I think you're cute. And I was like, yeah, you're cute too, like that. That's all that happened. And then one day she came right out and she was like, I want to go home with you. And I was like, tempting, but yeah. She was almost old enough. Almost, but not quite. Anyway. So that was that. I never talked to my twin flame again for 12 years after that. And Shayna, we just kind of went our separate ways too. Now, during this 12 years time, I got married. I did all the usual matrix-y kind of stuff. You know, the white picket fence, try to get a house and work in the corporate job and whatever, get married, blah, blah, blah. And Facebook came along and I made a point of friending like everybody that I ever met ever, right? And my twin flame and Shayna both, I ended up being Facebook friends with them. Although I never ever talked to them. It was just, you know, like how people collect friends on Facebook. That's what I was doing at the time. And that was that. Now, one day, about 12 years after I had met my twin flame in the first place, I found out that Shayna died. And I'm still not sure how. She was very young. She was in her mid-20s. It had to be, like, I know that there was like, I know that like internal bleeding was involved. So I don't know, like a car accident or something. That's the only thing I could think of. Like some kind of blunt force trauma from what I could surmise from what other people were saying on Facebook. And I was just kind of shocked because, God, she was young. To seriously like 25, 26 years old. That's really young, man. And she had some drama too. In her life. She had a couple of people that were close to her that committed suicide and all this kind of stuff. Well, anyway, yeah, I found out about that and it just kind of made me sad. And I still cared for her. I gotta tell you guys, I was just about as in love as you could possibly get with this chick back in the day. And I think she was 27 when she died. Yeah. Right. Wow. Man. That is a trip. And then it was like, yeah, it was like 12 years later when I found out that she died. Well, anyway, it made me sad. And so I couldn't find out how she died. I wanted to know how she died. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to go straight to the horse's mouth. So I started talking to her. You know, when you think about somebody who's crossed over, your thoughts travel directly to them. And so I started talking to her, and it was like every day. Like, I know you're going to tell me what happened. I just want to know what happened. That's all I want to know. It was like every day, a couple times a day. I'm trying to reach her. I'm trying to talk to her. Just, I don't know, send me get somebody to contact me through Facebook Messenger or something, or whatever. Just because I tried talking to other people and like nobody wanted to talk about it. I guess I can't blame them. I mean, it's kind of an uncomfortable subject, but nobody answered. And maybe they didn't know. I don't know. So yeah, I was like, yeah, see what you can do. If you can maybe send me a sign or a signal or something explaining, you know, what happened. And after about a week of this, one day I woke up in the middle of the night, which never happens. Ever. I sleep like a brick. Usually. Sometimes when my consciousness is on the uptick, like the whole ascension, sometimes I'll wake up at like 3, but it's pretty rare. And I've always slept that way. But I woke up. And the first thought in my head was, I woke up, that's kind of weird. And then I heard, Kurt. What? In my third eye chakra. You ever in your life experience telepathy? Like real telepathy? It's cool. Because when it happens, it's like your third eye chakra. Your third eye chakra is a radio transmitter receiver, right? And you can hear sound and see images. It's just usually what your third eye chakra is seeing or hearing are your thoughts, right? However, occasionally I'll hear somebody else's thought, and it's like a little loudspeaker in your head, like crackling, and you hear things, and it shocks you because you know that it's not your thought. You're absolutely clear that did not come from in here. It came from out there somewhere. You know that's what's happening. And man, it's just really naked and obvious every time that happens. It is fucking awesome. Intuition, I get that all day long, guys. I get intuition like daily now. But telepathy, that's, I don't know, maybe that's something I need to sharpen. Anybody can do it. I've got another story maybe I should share with you next week. I don't know. But yeah, I heard my name, and it was her. It was her voice. It was a female voice. And she said my name. And I didn't say anything out loud, but I remember sitting there thinking, oh, is that you? What happened? Tell me what happened. And then nothing. Okay. So I go back to sleep. All right. So throughout the day, the next day, I'm talking to her again, and I'm going, hey, I heard you trying to get a hold of me. Just keep trying. Just keep trying. This telepathy thing, it's kind of difficult for someone that's crossed over to talk to you, but they can do it. It takes a lot of effort from what I've come to understand about how that works. Like speaking to spirits, not evil spirits, but like your dead grandma or something, right? You can do that. But from what I understand, it takes a lot of energy for them to do that. And they usually need assistance, which is what's really interesting about this story, because I'm sitting here thinking, who in the hell was she? Was she a guardian angel or something? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I kept talking to her throughout the day, and I was like, hey, try again. Just keep trying. I heard you. Keep trying. Okay, so the next night, I wake up, same thing. It's like 2 a.m., never happens. And I heard same thing, Kurt. And I go, Shayna, is that you? That's gotta be you. And the thing is, guys, like it seems like it was easier for me to do this. God, now I'm really wondering, like, if she had assistance or something. Because I had to be woken up too. That's the thing. Because you know how, like, when you just wake up, and I mean you just opened your eyes just a second ago, and you're in that kind of weird half asleep, half awake state. That's where I was. And you can remember dreams and stuff like that. The veil is very, very thin in that state. And so I don't know, maybe because I started thinking about it, like, Shayna, is that you? Keep trying. I'm thinking about it. That like ruins it, because it takes you out of that higher like theta brainwave state, right? Well, anyway, same thing, you know, wash, rinse, repeat throughout the day. The next day, I kept talking to her, keep trying, right? And so she did. So on the third night, get this. This is, oh my God, are you ready for this? This is where it gets cool. Okay, third time's the charm. So I woke up again. Never happens, but I woke up. Same thing, Kurt. And this time, I made sure not to start thinking, right? And guess what? I heard like a trail of talking, like more talking. Like I heard her talking. Like she was trying, it was at least 1 or 2 sentences. But it was like, how do I describe it? It was like it was like garbled. And it was like trailing off. As my conscious thinking mind is taking over. But she was trying to talk to me. Shayna! Ah, that's so cool. And I think my guardian angel's talking to me before too. I'll have to make another video about that. Yeah, man, I've had some cool experiences. Damn. Well, anyway, I was kind of disappointed because the talking tapered off and I was like, oh no, I can't hear what she's saying. And it was like all garbled because the thinking mind is coming in and like fucking it all up, right? And just as I started to get disappointed, get this, I felt this warm presence surrounding my whole entire body. And it was like squeezing me, and it did not hurt. It felt very pleasant, but it was like this big cloud of warm energy surrounding my body and like squeezing in on my body. And it was a very pleasant, warm feeling. And I felt her presence. And I felt this intuitive message of, it's me, I'm fine, thank you. And that's it. And then it was gone. Now, the day after Shayna gave me this spiritual hug from the other side, I started talking to my twin flame again. And we started flirting and talking and hanging out, and we started the whole journey. And remember, the 3 of us used to work together. Me, my twin flame, and Shayna. We all worked at the same place together. Yeah. There's got to be something more to this story. Maybe I'll find out when I cross over to the other side. That is just very interesting, my friends. Very interesting indeed. That's a fucking trip, man. I've had some really interesting experiences, my friends. You're not going to tell me that there's not something after this life. You know, I don't worry about death. I don't want to suffer when I go. And I know it's going to be a long time from now. I've been shown that. But when it's time, I hope I don't have to suffer. I hope it's not painful, right? But other than that, I'm not worried about it, you guys. I know that I'm just going to be leaving my body, and that's all it is. And that's all it's going to be for you. That's pretty cool, you know? To know that life goes on in perpetuity. We are eternal. There is no ending. There's no death. Death can be scary, and needless to say, people are, committing acts against each other on Earth, and causing people to leave their body prematurely, I guess you could say, a lot. But ultimately, at least those people are going to be all right. It's just, I could do without all the fanfare, all the violence and stuff. But anyway, guys, I'm just really glad to be alive and to have had these experiences. I hope you found this video interesting. I'm going to be doing a few more like this one in the near future. So hope you guys have a good rest of your week. See ya.